Hello everybody. Today I am actually going to walk you through how to plant up your spicy pepper grow kit. Now the cool thing about the spicy pepper grow kit is that all of the seeds have very similar growing requirements. So you're not going to have to scramble around trying to figure out what the approximate depth to plant them is, or do I soak this seed for longer, or does this seed need to be stratified in a different way. No worries about that. They all need the same thing. Now, with one exception, the habanero, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Now, first, what you want to do is make sure you prepare your seeds for planting. Now, they're going to want to take a dip in water for about 12 hours. You could do up to 24, but I have found in my planting that 12 hours is perfect. It softens them up just enough to be receptive to the soil and sprout out some little roots in a pretty decent amount of time. Now, when you plant your little seeds, they're easy to handle. That is the coolest part about these, is you want to plant them at a depth of about 1/4 of an inch or less. You could go a little bit deeper, but it'll take them a long time to find their way to the soil, and you increase your possibility of having them sink and then not come up at all. So a little on the shallow side is okay. Now, once you plant them, you want to make sure you keep them hot. This is going to be the key element in sprouting success. And when I say hot, I'm not talking about, a warm windowsill or something. They need to be 80 degrees in that soil. It doesn't mean you have to keep a room 80 degrees. That's kind of over and above the call. You just have to make sure that that soil stays nice and hot. Now, I like to use a warming mat. I picked mine up for so cheap on Amazon. You could find one at a local store. You could find one on Amazon or any sort of ag supply store for sure. You don't need anything big either. I wouldn't say spend more than $10 on a grow mat, and you'll have pepper plants coming out your ears. Now, most of the heating mats are going to be just a solid state, so you're going to have the same temperature all the time. If you have one that you can adjust, just make sure you adjust it to between 80 and 85 degrees. Now, with all of the peppers, except for the habanero, they're going to come up within a week, 2 weeks tops. If those 2 weeks have passed and you don't see any green sprouts or anything, take a toothpick, try to scratch around a little bit. Not anything too aggressive though. You don't want to jolt them out of the soil and disrupt any root growth that they do have. Now, by scratching around a little bit, you'll make them turn to the top of the soil so that they could get more light. I picked a very bright place to make this video because of that. The light is going to be very important as well. So once you get that heat dialed in, make sure there's a strong light source. The sun works very well. In the winter, sometimes you don't get enough sunlight hours, so you have to supplement with a grow light or something. So you want to make sure you have at least 10 hours of bright, direct light. Now, after they start to grow, if you notice that they're starting to be kind of flimsy looking, if they kind of bend, or if they're not standing as erect as you would like them to, go ahead and take a little bit of the soil and mound it up around the stem, just to give it a little bit of structure and stability. You don't want to do anything more than maybe 1/2 inch, and you don't want to compact it. You just want to loosely mound it to give it a little bit of stability. What'll happen is within that little mound, it'll grow more roots, lateral roots, so that it'll stay more upright, secure. Now, if you do that and they're still floppy, a couple things are happening. You don't have a strong enough light source to keep them going upright, and your nutrient levels are a little bit off. The nitrogen to potassium and phosphate ratio is just like way too much nitrogen. So you want to go ahead and feed those roots with something high in phosphate. I always recommend using Garden Tone by Spoma for fertilizing your peppers because it's a good organic, well-rounded micronutrient fertilizer. It's good stuff. You'll love it. So, like I said, with the pepper kit, they all need kind of the same thing except for the habanero. Now sometimes the habanero needs a little bit of help. They need to be a little bit hotter, and we kind of speculate that maybe it's because it's a hotter pepper. I've done so much research trying to figure it out. I don't know. So just go with me on that one. So if you notice that the rest of your little guys have popped up, but the habanero has been kind of stagnant, try to get more heat to them. Either put a little Ziploc bag over the pot to trap in some of that heat and create kind of a greenhouse effect, or just move it to a hotter location. It's the only one that may give you a problem. Otherwise, growing peppers is so easy and so much fun. You'll love it. As always, if you have any questions whatsoever, if you get your little peppers out and you get nervous, or you just need some clarification on things, we're here to help. Shoot us an email. Our email address is wecare@shopgardenrepublic.com. Find us on Facebook. We're on there all the time on our growing community. And then if you're just still kind of curious, find our website, shopgardenrepublic.com, and click the instant message icon. We can answer your questions there. Happy gardening, everyone.